Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Small Talk on the Mats. My next guest here has a stacked resume, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown here. So hold on to your seats here, ladies and gentlemen. First off, he is a licensed clinical social worker in Texas and New Mexico, and the owner of the Rock Family Therapy LLC, where he provides individual, couples, and family therapy. He specializes in treating anxiety, depression, trauma, and relationships with a strong focus on child welfare and collaboration with agencies such as CYFD and CPS. In addition to his private practice, he serves as a school social worker with the District of Rio Rancho Public Schools. He is a proud U.S. Army National Guard veteran. He was a staff sergeant and a squad leader. His military service also included work with the New Mexico National Guard Behavioral Health Office, where he provided counseling, crisis intervention, and advocacy for service members and their families. He also contributed to federal operations at the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Task Force. He's earned his Master of Social Work from Walden University and a BA in Psychology from California State University, Long Beach. Beyond his professional and military career, he is a dedicated husband and father of three. Ladies and gentlemen, told you so. I welcome Rocky Vili. What's up, brother?
What's going on, brother? Glad to be here.
Glad to have you over, man, and I'm glad I've been wanting you on this podcast, and I'm glad we got it organized, and I'm glad to have you here, bro.
Well, it's very weird to hear your bio read out loud. I can tell. I was like, dang, okay. Sounds better than it is.
Yeah, it's nice when you say things out loud, man, rather than on paper. But cool, yeah. So, like I said before we started rolling, I got a list of questions for you. I categorize them so we stay on topic. Sure. And yeah, dude, be as open as you want with any question you want. Cool.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Right, let's jump into it, bro. First question is, the first category is personal and professional journey. So first question, let's kick it off, man. Can you share what first inspired you to pursue a career in social work?
You know what? It's been a long journey, right? In the military service, people are fucked up.
Yeah.
All the time. You see it. You see people take their lives. You see, people don't care, right? Yeah. And when I started seeing that, I was like, that's got to be something we got to stop. And I think it was like 2015. I was walking with a cadet. I was part of the. I was on SAT orders, and I was part of the. It was kind of hard for me to talk about, man. It's I was walking with a cadet. I was a cadre, and I was going up the stairs, and all of a sudden she was like, "That's it," and just jumped off.
Oh shit! Okay.
And it was kind of hard for me to swallow. Man, I just don't get it. Why are people just saying that's it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one after another, every year, man. Someone just hey, you hear about the what's his face, and they took their life. I was like, okay.
Yeah, every year.
So, man. I made it my life goal to at least be a buffer, someone that you could come talk to, and if I can't save the world, but if I could save one, that's enough.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry about that, man. I got kind of choked up right there. I was
no, it's okay, man. Yeah,
right off the bat, you hit me with the hard one.
Yeah, my apologies, man. But no, it's good, man. We need to talk about things like this so we could spread awareness at the same time. You know what I mean? So next one is, how did you grow? How did growing up in Long Beach and Carson shape your perspective on resilience and community?
Oh man, that's another hard one right there. If you didn't grow up in LA, it's hard to explain, but we're in New Mexico, so I'm going to explain a little bit about LA. You don't get a choice. You grow up, it's sink or swim, survival, straight off the bat, right? I remember sleeping on the floor of my bed instead of on my bed. Any Halloween, holidays, and everything. Why? Because the bullets be coming through the window.
Oh, shit.
Right? So I knew I needed to get out of there.
Yeah.
Right. I hear it all the time in Albuquerque. People say, "Oh, we get out of Albuquerque, the land of entrapment," right?
Yeah.
But the Army kind of provided me a way out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, otherwise I'd have been stuck there. Everybody that I know is still there. You know, they don't move, but 5 blocks away from their own parents.
Yeah.
They're still in the same old thing, and jumping on a plane to Missouri, right? For Lost in the Woods was like, okay, well, there's something different out here. And then you just jump on one mission after the next and create new traumas.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, Long Beach is I miss it all the time.
I'm
You know,
sure.
it is home. The weather's better, obviously, right? Um, but if you go back, it's the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's the gang banging, it's the drugs, it's the drive-bys. It's all that. But you know, home is where his home is. So
yeah.
yeah.
But it created some resilience for you, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
All right.
made me tough.
Yeah, goddamn right. What motivated your move from California to New Mexico, and how was that transition influenced? How does it influence your practice and family life?
Um, you know what? Every like 3 years, I'll jump on a new order. So, um, from 2015 to 2018, when I met my wife in 2015, I was on SAT orders, and I was working with Sunburst Youth Academy. That's why I was a cadre, right? Um, then I moved to Sacramento for another 3 years, and then down to the border mission in San Diego. So I was just moving my family over and over again. In 2020, I told my wife, okay, look, I'll stop jumping on orders, but we need to find a place. And it was the pandemic, and you couldn't just buy a house. Like it was hard. I was coming off of those Southwest Border Mission, and I couldn't really get another job because
Yeah.
it was chaos, right?
Yeah,
It's the year that everybody went crazy,
yeah, dude. That caused a lot of problems.
right? But I finally I said fuck it. Like my wife's Native American and her tribe's out here in Jemez,
Okay.
and I was like, let's look into Mexico. So I was kind of researching, saw Rio Rancho was kind of a better place to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, so I finally found a house, and it was cheaper. So I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna be living off of nothing right now. Let's get somewhere cheaper, and then we'll move back to California. It just never happened.
Yeah.
Once we dug our roots down here, it was hard to leave.
Okay. Oh, so
So-
your intentions were to go back to Cali.
Oh, always.
Oh.
I still want to,
Yeah.
but it's like a matter of like, can I afford it?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's I've been over there a couple times, twice for missions, and then once to take my kids to Universal Studios. And man, that shit is outrageous, bro.
I
The
know.
prices out there, the traffic too. I
Would you go to-
don't even want to talk about that.
Would you go to NTC?
Yeah,
Irwin?
NTC.
Yeah.
So I went Fort Irwin and Camp Johnson. So
Funny story about Fort Irwin. It's the only place I've ever heat catted at.
really,
Yeah.
a lot of people do though over there.
Oh man, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was coming down my truck, and I was an 88 mic, obviously, right? So
Yeah.
we were just getting finished, and I turned off my vehicle. Biggest mistake.
Yeah, dude.
Turned off the vehicle, right? I should have just left that shit running, let the AC going. After it didn't take long, 30 minutes of just sitting in the hot vehicle, I started to feel woozy, so I got out, and I started talking to my Joes, and they were saying that I was saying gibberish, just like,
shit, yeah.
and then I went plop,
Oh no, dropped, huh?
dropped.
Yikes, dude. Yeah, that's scary, dude. And once you're a heat cat in the army, man, you're a heat cat forever. So you gotta take precautions with that and be safe. Okay, cool. So looking back, how have your military, clinical, and family experiences woven together to shape who you are today?
Military, clinical, and family. Man, it's everything I am today,
Yeah,
right? Like I said, man, the military is what got me into mental health in the first place. It wasn't for New Mexico, right? Part of being in a social work, you needed to do clinical hours. No one would take me during COVID, right? They're like, I thought I had to quit school, right? Because they're like, oh, we're not taking internships. So to finish your school, you had to do a certain amount of hours in the field, voluntary,
Oh, okay.
right? And then I just turned to the military because I knew they had a behavioral health department.
yeah,
And I asked one of the captains there, actually she was a lieutenant at that time. I was like, hey, I really need somewhere to do my clinical hours. Would you take me? And they did. And that's where I started seeing soldier after soldier after soldier. I was like, man, I thought California was fucked up. New Mexico's fucked up.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
And so it turned me from wanting to do private practice at that time to getting into military social work.
Okay.
But then my third daughter was born, right? And I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, do I really want to stay in the Army anymore? One, I knew eventually I was going to deploy again.
Yeah.
And I kind of got out.
Yeah.
Took a job with the district here, Rio Rancho. Get every summer off, get everything. And then I kind of got complacent. And you know when you kind of stagnate and in the Army, you feel like we're all fucking ADHD motherfuckers. We just want to go and go, you know, rah, rah.
Yeah.
Right? I got bored, man. I was like, you know what? I need to challenge myself again. So that's where I kind of got back into opening my own private practice. I was like, okay, I want to help people out. Let me do that again. And I kind of could dip myself back into the military again. So now, technically, I have 3 jobs. One with the schools, full-time private practice, and then contracting with the military, helping out soldiers. So I'm kind of do all 3 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gluttony for punishment.
Yeah. That's good though, man. You stay busy though.
Yeah.
And you're changing lives at the same time. So all right. Next category is clinical work in the Rock Family Therapy.
Sure.
So tell us about your private practice, man, the Rock Family Therapy. What sets your practice apart from others?
You know what? It's really that it's not like a place where it's like a doctor's office. I literally dress like I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I go in shorts, I go in stuff. It's just a place for you to unwind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just have the clinical knowledge and expertise to actually help you out. But it's still like, it's not going in, I'm wearing a suit. Nah. You know what I mean? And half the time when soldiers go talk to people, they're talking to people that have never been in the military.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they're
Yeah,
like,
that's
who
true.
the fuck are you to tell me anything?
Yeah.
And so I actually get a lot of military folks, a lot of cops.
Okay.
And as I get them, I'm growing myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of a new venture for me. It's easy for me to talk to soldiers, right? But running my own business,
Yeah.
right? That's a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I was like, I gotta send this bill out. I don't fucking know how to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Call assurances. Like, I just want to sit there and talk to people. So I'm kind of figuring that part out.
Gotcha.
But what sets me across is, I guess, I'm not your average Joe. You know what I mean? I've been there. I've been through the trauma. I've seen some shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not just talking out of my ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, your background definitely helps out with that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So you specialize in anxiety, depression, trauma, relationships. What are some common themes you see across these struggles?
You know what? Half of the relationships that I see that it's communication.
Okay.
People don't know how to talk to each other. And then when it comes to trauma, people don't know how to share.
Okay.
So when I see, they'll come sit down and they'll just unload like everything, right?
Okay.
And then it's never enough time. It's like, okay, we're gonna stop here. We're gonna pick up.
Yeah.
And it's like the first time they get to say something where they know that I'm not gonna say anything, like, because it's confidential.
Yeah.
And just that process alone is like 50% of it. Like, I'm tired of holding it in. And then for the relationships, it's like, I don't know how to talk to my partner.
Yeah.
We're fighting. It's like, well, let's learn. Let's learn how just to talk to each other. You know what I mean?
Communication's huge, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude. So how do you balance the needs of individuals, couples, and families in therapy?
How I balance their needs?
Yeah.
I kind of challenge them to think about, you know, a lot of times people don't have the skills to do basic shit. You think it's common sense, like, you know, organize your time, you know, or take some time for yourself. Let me give you an example of one time. I had a client who didn't know how to ask their wife that I need some more time, like just to go golf.
Okay.
Just to go golf, right? And I'm like, okay, did you tell her you need that? Like, no, she's gonna get mad at me. Right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, you're not helping yourself if you don't tell her I need me. I was, I guarantee she needs her. She tells you all the time that you need some me time.
Mm-hmm.
You need it too. So, it goes back to that communication piece again. Like they don't know how to communicate with others,
Yeah.
and it really is just going back to the basics. You know, like hey, don't be passive, don't be passive aggressive, don't be aggressive. I need you to be assertive. When you're being assertive, I need you to tell me, or tell your partner, or tell other people what you need.
Okay.
And you're telling me I need a break. You're not telling your spouse I need a break.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so it's kind of it's a rock and a hard place for them. Well, I don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. So, what does trauma-informed care mean to you in practice?
Okay. So understanding where people come from, right? It's about being non-judgmental, right? It's people go through shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be someone you might be like, oh, that's not traumatized. I've been through way more shit than you, right? That's not how trauma-informed care works. It's about empathizing with their problem, their situation, what they feel like has fucked them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you start measuring dicks like that, you know, it's like, oh, that don't sound great. They're not gonna want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you kind of gotta empathize with their situation, and like, okay, no, I understand. And sometimes that's half the battle of telling someone, like, okay, I understand how you feel. So, yeah, man, it's a more complex than that, but that's the gist of it. It's
Okay.
connecting with empathy.
Okay. Yeah. I know a lot of people feel like they're not heard. So yeah, hearing is just a fraction of getting to the root of the problem, for sure. So next topic is going to be school social work and child welfare.
Okay.
In your role at Rio Rancho Public Schools, what are some of the biggest challenges students and families face today?
Their parents.
Yeah.
Their parents. Man, I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting here in front of the kid. I'm trying to help them. I'm like, their fucking parents are fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like three situations, right? Either the kid doesn't have their parents in their life, they're foster care, or their parents are in their life and they're just ignore them, or they're not part of they're just not there.
Yeah.
And then it fucks them up in school. So I spend half the time just talking to them about how to deal with that. And then there's some other ones that are just fucking knuckleheads.
Yeah.
I gotta be careful what I say, but
Yeah.
I mean, we're not using any names, but it is what it is. Everybody's gonna have the knuckleheads, right?
Yeah.
But 99% of it's trauma from their own parents.
Gotcha.
Bad, shitty life. Parents are alcoholics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never around, always drinking.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I'm calling CFD. I'm like, I hate doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I have to let them know, right? So.
Okay. Yeah, I think and I just went over it on my solo session, man, that kids growing up, especially without a father figure in life or without a father,
Yeah.
those kids become statistics, man. Like either end up, in juvie, jail, prison, or even worse, man, dead. You know what I mean?
There's a crazy statistic, and I can't remember the exact one, but if I get it wrong, don't chew me out for this. But there's a statistic that says that if there's one caring person, just one adult, male or female, in that kid's life, they have like a 80% chance of being successful to stay out of jail, graduating, and making success in their life.
Mm.
And that's just one person, right? That could be your parent, that could be your brother, that could be anybody.
Okay.
One adult in
Yeah.
their life. And that's like, that just seems simple, but it's not.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's a crazy statistic.
Yeah, I gotta find it. I'll get back to him and you can put it in the link.
Yeah. All right. So, can you share an example of how school social work can be a game changer for a student's future?
Yeah. So there's a few situations, right, that makes you eligible for social work in schools. Because everybody benefits from talking to somebody, right?
Yeah.
You need to require social work to have social work. So say if you you're a student that doesn't speak or has a lot of anxiety, right? You would get social work in that situation once you have like an IEP, so that I could teach you how to advocate for yourself. So like that entire time I'm just sitting there to get you to talk, and you kind of get those ones that are quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then you have other ones that are have autism, like we call it ASD, autism spectrum disorder, right?
Okay.
They don't know how to socialize. They're awkward. You see them all the time. Like there's some famous people that are that way. Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Right? A little bit awkward. You know what I mean? Smart.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're not intelligent.
Yeah.
Right? But awkward as fuck. Right? Yeah. So just teaching them how to interact, or just recognizing like cues, like, hey, this is when you say thank you. They don't know that. They don't know when to do normal shit. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So we could work on recognizing those things. Then you have some more of those serious ones, right? The ones that have suicide ideations.
Yeah.
I think those are the hardest day for me. And I actually get more suicide ideations in school than I do in my private practice.
No shit.
Yeah. Oh, I've had 2 or 3 in the first 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. With plan, with intent, I'm going to take my life today.
That's crazy, dude.
I get about 7 through 10 of them a year.
That is insane, dude.
They're usually at the beginning of the year and the end of the year.
Okay.
School year, I'm getting the most.
Wow. Is there a reason why that is? Beginning and end?
I kind of nailed down the end of the year is like I'm about to go on break and I'm home every day and I'm going back to chaos at home.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of the majority of it. And I'm not sure if it's the other side is I'm coming to structure again and I don't know how to deal with this.
Okay.
So it's stuff that's coming from baggage from home over the summer.
Yeah.
And then also I'm about to go back to that every day. I don't get a break.
Yeah, maybe some social stuff in there too, you know.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. I'm only generalizing here, but there's a lot of like every situation is different, but
yeah,
it's constant.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy.
And that's 1 to 4 social workers in my school. So
man, dude, I didn't know that, man. That's damn. I could only imagine what you go through, dude.
It's a lot.
So, how do you collaborate with agencies like CYFD and CPS while still advocating for families?
So it's a mind frame, right? I'll be honest. Social workers are not like me. A lot of social workers don't think like me. They don't act like me. They don't come from the same background. I'm like a unique situation that's in this field. A lot of social workers are civilians, right? Yeah. They've had different upbringings, right? But the idea, right, is that the family comes first. Right? I'm not here to take your child from you, right? I'm here to preserve your family. I'm here to protect the child. There's been a big shift in social work too, a mind frame of from family first perspective to where they used to like take the children away from the families. Mm-hmm. Really, the thought now is to include the mother and father. It makes it more successful, right? Let me give you an example. Mom and dad can't get the electricity on the house, right? It's a big problem, right? Because it's hot as fuck. You know what I mean? We've had it where they couldn't get water on in the house, right? So instead of just moving the kids out, right? You go and you find out, okay, why they're not getting water. Go reach out, get the water services, get turned on. Do whatever you can to preserve the family before you start pulling them apart.
Okay.
And then you have to exhaust everything. Like you literally need to exhaust everything. But at the end of the day, if the kids are not safe, I mean, that's the last resort.
Yeah, sure. It's definitely situation dependent for sure. Okay. What strategies do you find most effective in crisis intervention in schools?
Wow. It's really understanding the signs, and you should know this too, right? They teach us in the army all the time, like look out for things, look out when they start giving away shit.
Yeah.
But man, unless you see it every day, it's hard to see those signs. And if you could catch it then, and then you get them to say, hey, I'm not leaving your side, it's It's like in the Army, right? It's ACE, right? You assist, care, escort, right? I think A is different. Is A assist?
Yeah, it's assist.
Right? Been a while.
You got it right on the dot.
But that assist portion, right, is really recognizing, hey, I see someone's in trouble, right?
Yeah.
These kids are not going to outright tell you every time. Yes, if I built a relationship, they came to me, good. Let me give you an example for one that happened in the past. I happened to see the student have his head down. The student never has his head down, right? But normal thing, kids have their head down all the time. They walk in the hall, head down, right? I approached the student because I thought it was off. But if I had missed that, just a simple head down like that, right? I would have missed it. He actually had the plan, intent. He was going to go right then and there. Maybe if I just walked right by him, or if I was on my phone, or I was doing something different, he would have went and did it.
Yeah.
And really, really, crisis is about seeing the signs. And part of my things I tell my wife all the time is like, you know what? I want to help people. Sometimes I'm scared. Like, I've had it where kids brought guns to school.
Oh yeah, that seems to be a common theme lately.
So last year, I'm glad that I always say this, like, I'm not trying to be their friend, but I'm glad I was on good terms with this kid. But he had told me, like, hey, Mr. Vili, I have a gun. I was like, okay. You know where it is? He's like, I have it in my car. And I was like, okay, thank you for letting me know. Right? So we kind of go out there and we get it, right? And that thing's loaded, 30 round mag, one in the chamber, ready to go. Yeah. I was like, oh shit. You know, these moments I'm like, oh shit, man. Like, kind of like, what did I went from the Army, and that's one type of, like, your life's on the line, and I'm like, holy shit, why do I keep on choosing these jobs where I'm like, it puts me in these, like, this situation. Maybe it's my personality. Yeah. It comes back to that heart of, like, where I grew up, like we said at the beginning of this, right? Yeah. I wanted to do good, but I'm like, oh man.
That's crazy. I mean, to even think about a kid like that coming up to you shows what kind of person you are already there, is because they have enough trust and faith in you already to tell you from the beginning. And then on the flip side too, you being so super observant about that one student that had his head down is just like, you're already going that extra mile of paying attention to all these little things too. So
you got to.
That shows who you are, dude.
Head on a swivel.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, that's fucking crazy, dude. So next topic is military service and behavioral health.
Let's go.
You spent a decade in the Army National Guard.
Sure.
Serving as a squad leader. What leadership lessons from the military do you carry into your therapy practice?
You know, being a leader, and I always shit on officers, right? Being a leader, especially as an NCO, is about soldier care. And I always felt like in my entire career, I was protecting my soldiers from the officers, because they always do stupid shit. Stupid decisions too, right? Yeah. Sir, that doesn't sound right for the soldiers, blah, blah, blah. Right. And it's all about soldier care, like taking care of your Joes. And that doesn't mean, like, you know, being a good leader. You know, that means caring about your soldiers, right? That's caring about their needs. Yeah. Hey, Sarge, I got something going at home, blah, blah, blah. I don't think I'll make this formation. Cool, you checked in with me. I got you. I'll talk to the first sergeant, right? Report to me as soon as you get here. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure you know, squad, you're NCO too, right? They'll be like, nah, fuck that. Come here to formation. You're fucked up, right? Yeah. What for? He has something going on at home. Yeah. Right? I mean, trust by verify. You know what I mean? I'm going to go and double check what happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? But meet them halfway. Do you know what I mean? That's something I always cared about, and that's because the NCOs that took care of me did that for me. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Everybody sees bad leadership too. Always. Yeah. It's I mean, you see it on TikTok all the time of toxic lifestyle in the military, right? Yeah. It's and I still dog shit smoked them after. I was like, look, Like, look, hey, you got to take your punishment. I got to tell the first sergeant I corrected this.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. Thank you for coming to me. You don't have to worry about it.
Right.
But yeah, man, soldier care, man.
Yeah. I think that's really important for sure. But going off of that, and I've spoken about it across public platforms before, but having leadership in a military career at the beginning of your military career kind of gives you an insight on where you're gonna go, what kind of bad apples there are. You can take away from there what you will, but you have to strive to become your own leader and a better leader than the shitty ones that you have. So having shitty leadership is not an excuse to be a shitty leader yourself. No,
it teaches you what not to do.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a little bit scared for the new generation though.
Yeah, dude.
They don't got the, and I guess every generation says this, right? It's like they don't got the same upbringing as us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm pretty sure the older NCOs said the same things about us. Let me give you an example, right? You know, just regular training, right? I was very surprised. One of my Joes came up to me. We're in the field. This is training environment, right? And our guidon got taken. Classic military thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, man. You guys let the guidon go get it back, and go take theirs. No, Sarge, we're getting in trouble. I just told you to go get it. You're tricking us. No, seriously, they thought I was tricking them.
Yeah.
I literally told them, go get our fucking guidon, go get theirs, and they said no. They really refused to do it. I've never had a Joe refuse, and they're like, no, we're not allowed to follow orders that are not valid. I'm like, oh, shit. Which is true, because I can't order them to do something like that, right?
Yeah.
But would you ever say no to your NCO if they told you to do that?
No.
No, you would fucking do it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I had to go do it myself. I was like, okay, lead by example.
Right.
I'm gonna go do it. And who's coming with me? So I had a couple that just, I was like, I call them the real ones. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna go do it. And lo and behold, I fucking get caught. I get caught, right? And I'm glad I get caught by the person I get caught by my first sergeant, right? And he's cool as fuck. He's Polynesian like me. I'm Samoan, and he's Tongan. And he catches me, but I'm on full baklava. I'm fucking decked out black, and he stop, whoa, thing, right? And he thought I was gonna be a private, right?
Yeah.
And I fucking pulled out one thing. First sergeant. I was like, I'm retrieving our guidon. I was like, and he's like, motherfucker, I didn't see you, right? So we go to the top of the hill. We plant their guidon to the very top, so when they wake up, the battalion can see it's on top.
Yeah.
We go take ours, put it back.
Yeah.
Very next morning, man, our commander, Sergeant Vili, I want you in the talk. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get an Article 15 over something stupid where an E4 could have did it and got a slap on the hand. I could have smoked him after. You know what I mean? Because as an NCO, you can't do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Training environment could do that and get some push-ups and it'd be okay.
Yeah.
NCO should not be doing that. I was like, oh, fuck. Lo and behold, I walk in there.
Hey.
Right? He shakes my hand, the commander, and he's like, good job, Sergeant Vili. Don't ever fucking do that again. Let's go to the top of the hill, go get that. So we walked up there, me and him, grabbed it. We passed it back to his commander with me there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. Then I went back to my Joes and I was like, see, motherfuckers? Right? So the rest of we're there for a month, right? So the rest of the field training, they were just sitting there stealing it. And then they eventually had to call us out and smoke the entire company and say, stop fucking taking the guidons.
Yeah.
But it's a military tradition, right?
Yeah.
How long has that been a thing?
Forever, man.
Forever, right?
Yeah.
But that goes back to that story of that new generation of not wanting to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're infantry, right?
Yeah.
When you put your stripes on you, how important was it for you to go through that ritual? You know what I'm talking about. They call it hazing now.
Yeah. It's important, man. I hope for it to happen. It needs to continue.
It does.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of softened up a little bit.
You can't do it.
It sucks, dude.
Can't do it anymore.
Ah, man. And that's what these kids need, man. But
I was proud to go through mine.
yeah.
I
Hell yeah, dude. So was I. All right. So while working with the New Mexico National Guard Behavioral Health Office, you supported soldiers through trauma, addiction, suicide prevention, etc. What did that teach you about resilience?
Say that question again, man.
Yeah. So while working with the New Mexico National Guard Behavioral Health Office, you supported soldiers through trauma, addiction, and suicide prevention. What did all that teach you about resilience?
Sure, man. I think my entire life's been about resilience, right? Growing up in LA, Long Beach, Carson. If you're familiar with those areas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All the way to join the Army, going through fuckery, and then coming into the behavioral health office where you have a good amount of the guard going, right? And they're going through trouble. And like I said, it's almost like I didn't understand, like, why don't these guys have their NCOs take care of this portion, right? That soldier care. It's like when they make it to us, someone in leadership, or at least in my opinion, in their first line leadership, stop caring. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Because if my Joe came to me and said, "Hey, man, I don't have enough money to buy groceries," I wouldn't send him to the behavioral health office. I would send him to. I would come out of my own pocket. Hey, dude, pay me next time you got. Or I would go find him a food bank, or I would go find him a resource.
Right.
It would never need to go to that level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing in the behavioral health office. It's one, if it's SI, that's the highest level, right? That's the highest level shit. But if the lower level stuff is like, hey, connecting them to insurance, connecting them to a therapist, connecting them to a food bank, connecting them to counseling, right? That's kind of first level leader stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
it is.
And I've always thought about that. I'm like, that goes back to my, like, I'm glad that we have that safety stop. Like, hey, there's somewhere you can go to, but it makes me feel like, okay, well, that resilience piece, your question, resilience, how to build resilience, it's like, it's that wanting to make a change, right?
Yeah.
I have not given up. And I think if the day that I give up is when that resilience piece is over. You know what I mean? That's when I need to get out of this field. And so, yeah, I mean, to answer your question, it's it motivates me more to, like, okay, well, fuck, someone got to do something for the soldiers. I'm not going to be the last stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to fail them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I like that answer, man. Okay. And many veterans struggle with transition to civilian life. What do you think mental health professionals and society at large can do better to support them during that transition?
You know what? That's a hard question to answer, because it was hard for me. I don't consider myself a civilian still, right? Okay. I get a lot of people to ask me, why do you think the way you do, or why do you act the way you do? I'm like, I don't know. Why do you think the way you do? Why do you act the way you do? You like, I still, so there's a point when I joined the military where I didn't feel like a civilian anymore. I didn't think like a civilian anymore, and I just didn't connect with them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, it does.
Right? And to this day, the Army, the nation, does not have an answer for that. That's why we have so many soldiers, service members on the streets, fucked up, really fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So really, I don't have an answer how we could do it, right? I know how I'm trying to make a little difference, right? I make myself available to any soldier. I never say no. Any soldier that I ever served with calls me up. Cool. How can I help you? Yeah. What can I do? Right? because it's a family, right? We're a family.
Yeah.
And I continue to feel like a family. And I guess that's the big answer, right? You get this military family that we have. You take us away from that family. Now we feel alone, right? And you find little things like the American Legion where you kind of get your family back, or Veterans of Foreign War, or you have motorcycle groups, right? Sometimes you re-find your family. It's the ones that don't find them again.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a brotherhood, sisterhood, and now you're on your own.
Yeah.
How do you parse the two?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you don't think like a civilian anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Going through military, especially the longer you're in it, you know, the more mentality you have of it. And yeah, you're right. It's hard to get out of it when you're actively doing these things over the course of years. So yeah,
Yep.
dude, it's rough. Let's see, where do we at? Okay, so how did your time with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Task Force shape your perspective on national service and mental health?
Oh man, I loved my time working the border mission. That was my little adrenaline junkie time in my service. I could talk a long time about that. I'll tell you this: if I didn't get injured during that time, right, I would probably be a border patrol agent right now.
Gotcha.
Right. So let's start. I went on the Southwest Border Mission, 2018. San Diego. I was on Imperial Beach. And my job, as you know, in the military, you do so many jobs, right? I had like 4 or 5 jobs there. One was putting up or fixing the wall, because at that time it was a big thing. Oh, the wall's going up, right?
Yeah.
The wall's going up no matter what,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So people were cutting the gates, right? I would go in and I'd weld it on. I never welded in my fucking life. I was like, cool, I'm learning to weld an army, right? And they didn't care that I had bad welds, because they could come in and cut the fence again anyways. So as I was learning how to weld even better and better. I was like, cool, I'm learning a skill in the army. It was rewarding, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, man, that shit was pretty fucking gnarly, man. Like, I got shot at twice there.
Oh shit.
Not but like enough where you could hear the pew.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh fuck, right?
Yeah.
So that's when they have BORTEC come out and they'll respond to it. BORTEC's their, if you're not familiar with BORTEC's their SWAT, right? So we'll pull off the wall after. They'll throw shit at you. They'll throw rocks. They'll take pop shots, and I don't think they're actually shooting at you. They're just shooting close enough where you hear but it's not like oh fuck. You know, I'm not wearing body armor.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't let us wear body. I think now they let people wear body armor on the border. Right? When we first went, it was a fucking big deal. They did not let us wear body armor. So I was in civilian clothes, hid in plain sight.
Yeah.
I looked like a regular worker, just doing welding.
Yeah.
And then I had a border patrol agent as a bodyguard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're armed. They're in body armor. I remember there's a point where I was welding, and you know, if your mask on, you're not really paying attention to your left and right. So as I'm doing that, there's a border patrol agent behind me. I took my mask up. I took a break, and I'm like, hey, I'm like, is this good enough? And he has his weapon drawn. Sorry about that.
You're good.
His weapon drawn, and it's pointing at me. I'm like, what the fuck, right? There's a fucking guy standing right in front of me, right here, and he was like fully masked. It was like the border patrol agent had told me at that time. Like, yeah, it was like I forget the word he used, like not kind of like a person that spots, like a spotter.
Okay.
So they're going in to see what we're doing or where they're going to start getting more people to come through. So they'll come in and see what I'm doing so they could go and cut it again and then let people through, right? So the border patrol agent's like, he's telling that guy in Spanish, he's like, look at the light. And he tells me, keep on welding.
Oh,
So the reason why he said look at the light, right?
Yeah.
Is because if you look at the light without the mask, it blinds you.
Yeah, that shit fucks you up.
Yeah, so he was like, look at the light. And I was like, okay, roger that. So I just kept on welding, right? But he had the weapon drawn the entire time. And in all honesty, I was a little bit like, I'm fucking hurrying up. At this point, I'm no longer welding. I'm tack welding. I'm not sure if you guys know what that is. Tack welding is where you just put a couple welds on to hold it in place. And then I got up and left. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna finish. We'll finish that weld later.
Yeah. Holy shit, man.
Right?
That's wild, bro.
Yeah. So it was a good mission. It was, you know what I mean? It's that adrenaline junkie shit. Every day we're going out there, you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I got a nice Air Force award, right? Not an Army Achievement Award. I got an Air Force Achievement Award. We would another portion of that, when I got pulled off doing that duty, I went to the Otay Mesa Port of Entry, and this is one of my favorite jobs. This is actually why I wanted to join the Border Patrol. So when you come in, you either get sent through or you go to secondary, right? When you go to secondary, you go to this X-ray machine, right? And you also we can look in your car, right? We kind of search it.
Yeah.
So I got really good for spotting cars that had drugs in them.
Okay.
Right? Do you know what heroin smells like?
No, I don't.
Like vinegar.
Interesting.
So when I come in, look at the car, what are you doing, blah, blah, blah. I'll sniff, right? Smell vinegar. I was like, hey, this car has heroin. Look at the dogs.
Holy shit.
Right? Easy one, right? Or if the car's kind of like this in the back, you know it's loaded.
Right.
There's two things that would be loaded with, either people or drugs.
Yeah.
Right? And then sometimes people will like hid shit for stupid reasons. Like they'll hide meat, right? But like certain things they could just cross with like, hey, you didn't need to hide this. Like, because they think, right? Or they would hide alcohol, too many bottles. It was like, hey, you don't need to hide this. Just pay the tax.
Yeah.
I was like, you either pay the tax or we're going to fine you for it, but you don't need to hide it.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have rooms. I'm not sure. People can't see how big this garage is, but let's say it's 30 by 30.
Okay.
Full of weed all the way to the top. Would catch it.
Jesus.
Or heroin or fucking fentanyl. That was a scary one. All right. I got a story for that one. Or amphetamines, right?
Wow. Dude.
So we would get it all the time, and that was a rush. Like every time we got a bust, I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Wow, dude, that's crazy, bro.
They hide in the tires.
Yeah, I've seen that before on some like YouTube videos and shit. But...
So that's where that I got. So they have that Narcan, right?
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Keep you right. That was. So I got a little bit overzealous, right? You know, you get complacent, like you do it every day. So I just whipped out my knife, start cutting open the tire. I've done it 1,000 times, right? This time, I put my knife in it and it fucking went.
Oh,
fucking powder everywhere, right? All over me, right? And I'm like, grab the Narcan, grab it, because you got seconds, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm not going, right?
Man.
So like, it was like, we ended up testing it. It ended up being amphetamine, right?
Yeah.
But really, like, I'm inhaling some of this shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's exposure.
Yeah, something that your body's not used to.
Yeah,
It's
so
just fucking.
I learned my fucking lesson there. I was like, okay.
Holy shit.
But yeah, man. Like I said, the whole experience there was like, fuck yeah, we're going out and doing some real shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes these missions that you get on, they're good. You're helping out, but they're not like hoo-ha, where you're fucking going out there and you're catching criminals. You're catching drugs. You're fucking battling the cartel, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't out there battling gun to gun, but I was stopping their drugs.
Yeah.
I was stopping their traffic to the border.
Yeah, you're
right?
making an impact still.
Right? I was fucking, I was doing some shit, and oh man, best time of my career.
I'm sure, man. It sounds like it.
3 years there, a Air Force Achievement Award, a few coins from Border Patrol, and those are probably my most prized awards. I mean, I have ARCOMs and stuff. I don't give a fuck about those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that one because I fucking was doing some real shit. You know what I mean?
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's a cool little experience. I'm glad the audience will enjoy. I'm sure they will. So, moving on to therapeutic philosophy. You draw from cognitive behavioral therapy, solution-focused therapy, trauma-informed care.
Yep.
How do you decide which approach to use for each client?
So let's explain what each one is. So cognitive behavioral therapy is intersecting your thoughts. Like everybody has negative thoughts, right? All the time. They think, like, you know what? They don't like me, right? That's a thinking area right there, right? How do you know what they think? Do you know what I mean? then that shapes how you feel. You know what? Fuck that motherfucker. Then that shapes how you behave. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to do this for that person, right? All from that first thought, right? So cognitive behavioral therapy is about changing the way you think and the way you behave to change the way you feel. And that could be for anything from alcohol use to depression to anxiety. First, you must change either how you behave or how you think, so it changes how you feel. So they're all intersected. You ever heard that term? The way you think becomes the way you feel. The way you feel becomes, or whether you feel becomes what you think. The way you think becomes how you behave. So it's that concept. So cognitive behavioral therapy is about changing the way you think.
Okay.
Solution focused, right, is exactly what it sounds like, right? It's like, okay, well, let's focus on how to solve these small tasks that you don't know how to solve. Some people don't know how to organize their time or their day, or the smalls that get so overwhelmed, right, that you have to break it down for them. You have to chunk it up for them to small things that they can win. There's a nice little speech. Is it McCraven? You ever seen it? It's Admiral that gives a speech to a graduating class, and I forget where it was. It's Admiral McCraven, I think. And he says, just make your bed.
Yeah.
Make your bed, right? And the reason why he says that is because one at the very least, if your day's fucked up, you made your bed, you feel accomplished. You take small accomplishments and you let them snowball, right? And at the very end of the day, if you want to make change in the world, you want to make change in your life, you have to start winning. And you have to feel like you're making the difference. So making your bed is that first win. And solution focused is about providing that person with that small win. And like I said earlier, that trauma informed, it's really just that empathetic approach. I understand.
Okay.
I'm not going to belittle you. It's safe here.
Yeah.
It's free to talk. Right? I'm not going to judge. And you put those three together and you create an environment where people could just unload.
Okay. Gotcha. What role does family and community play in healing?
Everything. Just like I said, man, the Army. And I started to notice, like, okay, you know, like there's some similarities between people that go through trauma and the military. You know, let's talk about gangs, you know what I mean? That's just a bad family. You know what I mean? And when they try to go away for it and step away from that gang, right, they don't know how to operate on their own. That makes sense. The same story I said with the military, going from Army to civilian, they don't know how to be on their own anymore. So finding that family is everything, right? We met to the story of being a school social worker, and I said, hey, what's the problem? Parents, right? That's very judgmental. I get it, right? But if half the people that I work with felt like they belong, then they wouldn't be seeing me in the first place. That makes sense?
Yes.
And our community, right? It's important. We're human beings, right? We want to feel connected. We want to belong to. We want to feel like we belong and we matter. And when you start feeling isolated, it's really it's really something that most people can't handle, right? People want to feel like they're part of their community. They just don't know how to do that.
Okay.
And some communities are better at doing it, right? Like you go here for Rio Rancho, like they have something every Saturday, Sunday at Haynes. You know what I mean? You go to your church, that's another place you can find community, right? It's all about finding someone that's not going to judge you and accept you. That makes sense?
Yeah.
But that's kind of harder and harder right now in this time of field, right? Everybody's so fucking divided.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's like, okay, well, like you're still. I remember a time where it used to be proud to be an American, right? It's sad to me to hear that people are not proud to be an American.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, at least for me, I grew up in a time when 9/11 was a thing. My kids won't know about it, right?
Yeah.
I remember where I was when it happened. It's another reason why I joined the military, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to do something for my country because I love this country.
Right.
And when you start feeling that you don't love your family, you don't love your country, you don't love your community, you're just isolating yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And if anybody that's listening today, right, or get anything, start loving your neighbor, right? You start loving. That's all it's about, right? You gotta love your country. You gotta love the people next to you, because this is yours. And if you don't like it, make something better.
Yeah.
It's not gonna change unless you change it.
Yeah. Yep. I totally agree with that statement. That's a good way to put it, bro. When working with high-risk populations, what mindset helps you stay grounded and effective?
Let me get that question again.
Yep. When working with high-risk populations, what mindset helps you stay grounded and effective?
As a therapist, as a person, man, it's kind of it's simple, right? Keep it simple, stupid, and don't take it personal. When working with high risk population, the first thing they're gonna do is not trust you, right? Who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? So they're gonna push you away. That's what they're used to, right? They're used to. Let's talk about foster care kids, right? They're so used to people abandoning them, right? Their first thing is like, I don't want to be close to you, because next week you'll be gone. You're gonna leave me, right?
Yeah.
So they'll potentially be an asshole to you, right? So don't make things overcomplicated, for one, right? Because that's makes it harder anyways. And then two, don't take it personal. So that mindset is probably half the battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. If someone listening feels hesitant to seek therapy, what encouragement would you offer them?
Find somebody to talk to. If you're not going to come to a professional, find anybody. It could be your friend. Now, I'll tell you this, right? You don't need a therapist. And that's kind of funny that I'm saying that. I'm putting myself out of a business, right? You don't need a therapist. You need a friend. A friend is a better therapist, right? A true friend's not going to judge. I'm not going to judge, right? I'm just a person you're paying not to judge, right? I'm a person that's getting paid not to judge you. But if you have a friend who already knows you, right, they're going to already empathize with you. You're just paying me to empathize with you, right? You're paying me to be non-biased. And really, you don't need a therapist. You need someone that cares, that will listen, and will empathize with you. And if everybody had that, I wouldn't have a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really you come to me if you feel like you need someone to be non-biased, that will just be open ear, and you know that I'm not gonna. Actually, you know, because I'm required by law. I can't share anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm required. So yeah, if you don't feel comfortable paying, or you don't have the means to pay for a therapist, find someone that cares. It could be anybody. Go to church.
That's a huge one.
Right? Go to church. I guarantee you'll find someone that's going to care there.
For sure.
It's funny I say that, right? Most people don't know that, let's talk about happiness and what makes you happy, right? How much, and I'm going to question you now, right? You do all the questioning, now I'm sitting in the back, right? How much percentage do you feel like money matters to happiness?
That's a good question, man. I would have to say, I'm going to keep it real, man. I'm going to say about 40%.
Okay. Nowhere near. 10%. That's all that matters. 10%. And this is from my psychology of happiness, right? Bachelor's in psychology.
Gotcha.
Research shows that money only matters to the point that you're able to provide yourself with a shelter, so this home, a means to get to point A to B, a car, right, and food. Once you achieve that, money will not buy you happiness. If you had a mansion, would that make you happier?
No.
If you had a small home, would that make you happier?
No.
What matters is that your family's safe, in a shelter that's safe, that you feel safe in, that food's on the table, and you're able to get a point A to point B with no problem. A reliable car, a reliable home, reliable access to food. Once that is achieved, money doesn't matter. You could buy a new car. How long is that gonna make you happy?
Not long.
Buy a new TV, a bigger one. How long is that gonna make you happy?
Not long, man.
And you know what? The next time you buy something, you have to buy a bigger car, more expensive, right? Just to get the same satisfaction. It's like it's a high that's chasing that's never gonna be there.
Yeah.
So what makes us happy then? It's sad to say that, and this is research, right? 50% of our happiness is just genetic. Some people are happier than others, right?
Oh, okay.
It's just what it is. You see people that are always happy. They're most resilient people you ever see, right? And you see some people that are always sad.
Yeah.
50% is genetics. So that's 60%, right? So where's the other 40%? The other 40% is what you do with your life every day, how you practice it. And a big portion of that 40% is your own spirituality. About 20% of that 40% is how you practice your spirituality.
Interesting.
So it's a big thing to actually go to church.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're Muslim, Jewish, however you practice your spirituality matters. So if you're starting to feel like you're not happy, a big thing you could do is practice what you believe.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever you believe, practice what you believe. You can make a big difference in your life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. I'm glad. I'm sure a lot of people need to be listening to this right away. All right, last section, bro. Personal reflections and advice.
Sure.
How has being a husband and father influenced your work with families and therapy?
You know what? A lot. It's funny seeing other families fight, right? It's like, I don't tell them this. I'm like, yeah, we went through this ourselves. It's normal. I do tell them, hey, what you're going through is normal, right? Everybody fights, communicates, right? But it's funny because I'm teaching things that I already went through myself. And it's not that I'm like a perfect relationship. No, there's no such thing, right? I argue with my wife all the time, right?
Yeah.
I just have an experience now, I guess education to do it fair. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's to prove my own relationship, and I go home to my wife every day and I'm like, I appreciate you. I was like, there's a lot more crazy out there.
Yeah.
Than you. I used to tell my wife all the time. I guess I shouldn't say like why do you get angry so much? It's like, I don't want to fight. Like, how do we solve this, right? And or jealousy or insecurities or both ways, right?
Yeah.
And then you see it in your practice, and it's like, oh wow, I've been there, I've seen it. And it's like, okay, well, this is how I solved it, and this is what the text. I always say it both ways. This is how I solved it in this situation, and this is kind of like what textbook says how we should do it, right? So, I statements, right? When you use I statements, you say I feel certain things because, and then you kind of give your need at the end, right? And I always tell them, okay, this is a good way to start your conversation by saying I instead, just saying you, but it's so robotic. Do you know what I mean? It's a good way for you to start your communication when you don't know how to talk to each other, and because most people when they say, hey, you always put the do this, right? That's just gonna put you in defense, right?
Gotcha.
So I start couples off with those I statements like, hey, I feel like you don't care about the things that I'm trying to get done because organization is important to me, right?
Yeah.
But that statement itself is so robotic versus saying, I fucking need you to clean up the room, right?
Yeah.
How do we go from I need you to clean up the room without the other person feeling like they are being attacked? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but that's so interesting. What about the other side of the spectrum, like the you statements? What about for the people that are always like me, I? Would some people say that's like selfish in a way? Like,
What do you mean for saying I? No,
yeah,
well,
yeah. What if they start off like that? Like, what if it's the opposite way of people always looking at themselves and saying,
like
I, me, me, me.
narcissistic.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So when giving those I statements, right, you're doing it with your value in person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I value our relationship. right? You're starting off with that in the beginning. Like, so you're saying, like, if a person is not giving me enough affection, right? It's like, I feel like you don't love me because you're not hugging or kissing me enough. And I value that touch.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Versus them saying, and the other way, you kind of got to call it out. If they're being narcissistic and they're saying, well, it's hard for me to think in a narcissistic way. I'm trying to think of a way a narcissistic person would say this, like, being selfish, like, I'm so beautiful and I deserve to be kissed, right? That might be true. You deserve to be the affection, right? But then when you make it like I deserve it because I'm this big grandiose person, right? That's a little bit narcissistic. It's versus saying I want to be loved and kissed because I want to be loved by you. I value our relationship.
Gotcha.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So you start those conversations with value. What do you value? Well, yeah, I value our intimacy. I value our communication. I value our love. Whereas the other one is like, I value being loved because I'm important.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Understood. Okay. Yeah, and I'm sure, man, this is a great episode, bro. Like, I'm sure a lot of people are learning a lot from this. What do you do personally to stay balanced and avoid burnout?
Fuck, that's a hard question because I work too much, right? I would say if it wasn't for God, right? I try to make sure to go to church every Sunday. Right? I don't work on Sundays, 100%. But I'll be honest with you, I wake up 7 o'clock in the morning and I'll finish my day till 10 o'clock at night. So I start off my first job 7 o'clock in the morning, get off around 2. From 2 to 7 o'clock, I'm doing the other 2 jobs, right? In between. So either working with military or working with private clients. Good thing with the contract with the military, I can make those calls from the same office. I just make those calls all day. So I'm either doing either one. I come home and I still have to go do the logistical side from like around 7 o'clock to 10. So really I'm working every day from 7 to 10 and I do feel the burn, right? Really one of those things I need to get out. You know what I mean? I need to break. I really need to stop doing one. I'm not going to stop my private practice. I just built it. But I'm going to need to stop either working with the military or working with schools. How I survive right now doing that's a crazy schedule, right? Like I said earlier, like I turn to my spirituality, right? Mm-hmm. Church, Sunday, I don't keep anything people say to me on my shoulders, even if it's really bad. Like, I think the hardest thing for me to hear is when they're really young and innocent. Hey, this baby got hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I need to take time off. And then, so really, I take a lot of vacations, right? I think I travel at least once a quarter for a week. So I take off for a week. Like this September, me and my wife were going to Vegas for like 4 days.
Okay.
Right? And then I went to Japan last year. I went to Puerto Vallarta. I travel all the time.
Yeah.
I try to golf. I don't know. Do you golf?
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah. I remember you saying that. You got to pick it up. You got to pick it up. So really, I really try to I try to preach my own things, right? So you got to eat right. You got to sleep. You got to exercise. Those 3 things are the most important thing to mental health. Why? Well, if you don't sleep, you don't have energy for anything, right? It's all about energy and mental health. If you don't sleep, you don't have energy for nothing. So you got to sleep. You do jujitsu, right? Eat, sleep, repeat, right? Jujitsu, repeat, right? Yeah. You got to eat right, for one, right? If you put the wrong things in your body, you're not going to have energy. You're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
And then you got to exercise. If you don't have exercise, you don't have the battery capacity to do things, right?
Yeah.
So you got to have those 3 things in place to be able to have a high workload automatically. Then you got to take the time for yourself. Really, I got to be honest with myself. I don't take enough time for myself. I do give myself Sundays. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're like the same way. You you're a hard worker too. You know what I mean? It's how do you parse taking care of yourself and being a go-getter.
Yeah.
So I haven't broken yet. But at least if you have those three things, right? You eat right, sleep right, exercise, you have a good foundation. And then take your time for your spirituality. For me, I'm a Christian. I go to church. I go to the Legacy Church right here. I guess I put a shout out for that, right? And then family first, right?
Yeah.
All the rest of my time is to my family.
That's it, man. Okay. All right, man. Last 3 here. So who have been your biggest influences or mentors in your life?
My dad, right? My dad, 100%. Born in Samoa. So he's Hawaiian Samoan. My mother is Mexican, so I'm Samoan, Hawaiian, and Mexican. He taught me all my values, right? He was a Marine. He gets mad when I say that was a Marine. He is a Marine, right? He was a crayon eater. He instilled to me the value of being an American, right? Because when you're born in Samoa, even though it's an American territory, you're still a nationalized citizen, right? And he said the only way for you to become a citizen in that time, and everybody, was to join the military, right? So it's one of the things he did. A lot of Samoans, they come from Samoa. I mean, it's a big part of the culture now, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Got the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Jason Momoa, right?
Yeah.
So we're viewed as a lot more American than others, but we know the value of being American. Every male in my family has served in the military. My uncles, to Air Force, to Marines.
That's fucking awesome.
It's a legacy, right? It's a duty to your country. Samoan culture is about giving to your family, not about yourself. Remember that narcissistic thing, like, hey, what about the I,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't be an I in Samoa, right? You got to be a we. You got to be a us, right? Having that mentality, right, has shaped me into who I am now, right? It's not just being an us only for my family. It's about being an us for the entire country, right? How do I better this city, Rio Rancho, where we're in now? How do I better this state, New Mexico? How do I better this country, United States, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to be part of the solution. You can't be part of the problem,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's the mentality that my father gave me. Other than that, I've had lucky breaks of meeting NCOs like yourself, people that cared, people that are go-getters. You know what I mean? So you put yourself around 5 or 10 millionaires, guess what you're going to become?
A millionaire.
Right? Put yourself around the wrong crowd, guess what you're going to become?
Some of that wrong crowd.
Yeah. And you know what? I've that's just my choice, been putting myself around the right people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I just threw that in my last session where I said you're an average of the 5 closest people you're around.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
Really?
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
yeah, that's a big one, man. Okay, so what advice would you give to young professionals entering the social work field today?
You know what? You're coming into this field, just know that it's not all easy, right? You come into this field because you want to make a change. I don't think anybody chooses to be a social worker for money. There's ways to make money, obviously, you know, but like I said, it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, after hearing this entire hour, do you want to come work for me? Do you want to do my job? Do you want to take on the people's troubles? Do you want to hear, you know, it's not for the lighthearted, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think people that take my field, it's because they have their own trauma. They've been through it. They've been through the swamp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they see that they need to be part of the solution, right? So if you're getting this for the money, you're getting this because you just want to, or not just want to, you're just trying it out, don't.
Yeah.
You gotta want to make change to be in this field. We call ourselves change agents, right? That's literally, you go to school, they drill in, you're a change agent. Well, you really got to be that. You got to be a person that wants to make a change.
Yeah.
And if you're not there, don't come.
I agree. All right, last but not least, bro. What legacy do you hope to leave through both your professional service and personal life?
You know, I'm not trying to leave my own legacy. You know what I mean? I want to come and fade away. What my legacy should be is that someone that I touched is still here. That's going to be my legacy. You know what I mean? I don't need Rocky or the Rock Family Therapy to be this biggest thing that lasts forever in the history books, right? What I need, what I want, right, for a legacy is that, hey, that person's still breathing because I made an impact in their life.
Gotcha.
That's the only legacy I need.
That's strong, man. That's deep, for sure. Well, bro, that was my last question. Those were great answers, man. Very impactful. And like I said, I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy this episode. A lot of education here. So I'm going to open it up to you if you want to make any shout outs, any plugs, anything you want to say that we didn't talk about. It's open mic for you.
Sure. The only plug, I guess, is my website. If you need to get in touch with me, it's the rockfamilytherapy.com. You can find me on Facebook too, Rocky Vili. But yeah, I really don't have social media. So I have a TikTok, I think. I don't know what the handle is. I'm not a big social media person. I really say stay away from it. You know, social media will ruin your relationship, ruin your mental health. It's just better to stay away from it. But I get it. It's the way we connect, right? So I do have websites, therockfamilytherapy.com. I do need someone to actually build me a platform. I'm not sure. So if you know anybody,
okay.
I need someone to build me a social media for mental health.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, bro, I'm so glad you came on the show today, dude. It was fun having you over. And I'm sure you've already made an impact personally through your life story. I'm sure the viewers, a percentage of this, you'll make an impact through them too. So I appreciate it, man. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Small Talk on the Mats with Rocky Vili, man. And until next time, man, we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Peace out.